All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lunar Flow for the new moon in Aries, in preparation for the new moon in Aries. All right, so finding a comfortable seated position wherever you are, sitting on the edge of your block, perhaps sitting on the edge of a blanket, or even laying down if that's what's calling to you this evening. And sitting tall, adding length into our spine, broadening the chest, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Just coming into the present moment, tuning in, arriving onto our yoga mats. And noticing what the breath feels like. Noticing the breath flowing in, noticing the breath flowing out. And keeping that length in the spine, noticing if we're finding ourselves hunching forward, seeing if we can broaden the chest, opening the heart, expanding the rib cage, allowing for more breath and more full breath to be experienced in the body. And along with the breath, noticing what sensations are coming up for us in the body. Spring has emerged, so this can bring about a lot of new sensations in the body that perhaps we didn't feel in winter. So just noticing what is. And we're not judging or labeling what is as good or bad, right or wrong. We're simply just observing. And along with bringing awareness inwards to the breath, to the sensations in the body, simply observing what is happening in the mind. And we may be catching up with what is going on in our mind, perhaps if we found ourselves rushing through today or trying to make it to class on time or just trying to get things done. Or perhaps we didn't, perhaps we were leisurely going through our day. But whatever it is, just noticing the thoughts that are coming in, but without judging or labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong. Also, not to engage with the thoughts, but simply just observing them alongside them without becoming them. And even as we do these practices, just noticing if we have rules, perhaps, of I'm not doing this right, or why is this not happening for me, which is um, very in alignment with Aries season, which we have entered recently. So just noticing if we are being a little bit critical to ourselves as we move through even this grounding practice, noticing if we're focused on getting it right. But perhaps we can translate this into just presence, just practicing it. Because practicing is how we can get things to be in alignment with us. And as we tune in, I'm going to gently introduce what the new moon in Aries is all about, which is actually this weekend. So in preparation for this weekend, we're going to do our lunar flow, which, before and after each moon, there's always sort of the beginning effects of each moon. And we are in Aries season, which is also marking a whole new zodiac year. So Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. We just finished Pisces, which is the last sign. So this is also symbolic in that we have a new slate. We're starting anew. And more timely, Aries is one of the fieriest signs of the zodiac, which tends to be a lot of fiery energy. So just to read a little bit about the new moon in Aries. The Aries new moon is the time to set new intentions about how to be confident and be a leader, which are very characteristic trademarks of Aries. Believe in yourself. Feel confident to speak out first in a meeting. Begin an entrepreneurial endeavor. Post on social media or initiate a conversation. Maybe you are ready to bring something to the world as a leader by developing a marketing strategy, getting on stage, running a half marathon, or teaching what you know. So Aries is very much so a bold, confident, and leadership-centered sign. And by the way, I'm reading this from the Moon Journal by Sandy Citron, which is a really great Moon Journal book. If you want to know more about it, you can ask me after class. So we're going to tune into that leadership quality of how can we really lead our lives right now. Aries is a very much so self-confident, self-power type of sign. And so it's really symbolic that we start off this new zodiac year in really trying to empower ourselves, to really try to channel our inner leaders, really try to gain that inner power. So we're going to, at the end of class, I'll introduce you to a type of breath work called breath of fire. And no, it doesn't necessarily heat you up. It's actually a very relaxing almost, and could be in a positive way, energizing type of breath. And it's a foundation actually for a lot of Kundalini practices, which I'm going to slowly start introducing into my classes as we move along. So I'll introduce breath of fire later in the class, and then we're going to journal on some of the prompts about this new moon in Aries. All right, so hopefully we have an idea of what is happening right now in the astrological realm. So with that being said, slowly start to deepen the breath. If your eyes aren't open, gently open the eyes. And let's just do some shoulder rolls just to get some movement into the body. Moving at your own pace. There's no need to go any quicker or slower than you think you have to be doing. There's no shoulds, there's no rules here. This is your practice. I'm simply just guiding you and showing you different things that you can do, but you can always do them at your own pace. Reverse the shoulder rolls. And then let's just open up the neck. So just gently moving your neck side to side, maybe even a neck circles, whatever feels good to you. I'm going to give you the freedom to tune into the neck. Being in a pandemic after a year, I'm sure we're all at the computer more often. So what works for me may not work for you in terms of your neck and keeping the neck safe. So I want to give you freedom to do whatever feels good right now in the neck. And if you are going in any sort of direction, just make sure to switch directions. Beautiful. And then I want to have the arms brought up kind of like they're in cactus arms. And I want you to inhale as you twist to your left, exhale as you twist to your right, and just do a few of these spinal twists, really moving them along with the breath, just to get some nice opening in the spine. Trying to keep the shoulders down if you can. And the next time you're at the right, stay at the right and drop the hands and come into a deeper spinal twists. If you're pregnant or you're trying to get pregnant, then please refrain from doing any deep spinal twist. But if you are in the twist, gaze past your right shoulder, back behind you. Left hand is on or around the right knee. Breathing here, not holding in the breath. And gently come back to center, and we'll switch sides. Bringing the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you, coming into a spinal twist other side. You may notice one side is a little more tight than the other, and that's okay. Gazing past your left shoulder. And coming back to center. All right, so now bring your hands in front of you, interlace all of your hands, open your palms, and try to see if you can flip the palms out in front of you. This might feel a little tight on the shoulders depending on where you are. Feel free to stay here. If you're a little bit more open in the shoulders, you can bring the arms up overhead. And if you feel even more open, you can bring the arms back behind your ears, really opening up behind you. And if it feels good to you, tuning into your body, you can bend left and right. Getting some variations of spinal opening here. Beautiful. And then release the hands. We're just going to try to open up those shoulders even more. Bring the hands this time behind you, interlacing the fingers behind you, and squeezing the palms together if you can, or keep the palms open, and maybe even bending forward if that feels good to you. So really opening up the shoulders here. Wherever you can do. I can't even really go that far with my arms. My shoulders are so tight today. But whatever you can do, bending forward. Beautiful. And then inhaling back up. Beautiful. So hopefully we feel a little bit more open in the body. And as we move through our Chandra Namaskar, we will loosen the body even more. Coming up off of your block or any prop that you're on, and coming onto your mat, standing tall. As we start with our Chandra Namaskar, our moon salutations. So as you notice here, I like to face the long edge of my mat. So I'm actually at a 90-degree angle from the front of my mat because it tends to use up the length of the mat more than the width of the mat. All right, so once you stand in the middle of your mat, facing the long edge, stand tall, arms to the side, really rooting down in both of your feet. And we'll start with our moon salutations, really harnessing that new moon energy that's coming up. Inhale as you sweep the arms to the sky, interlace all of the fingers except for your index fingers. Relax the shoulders down. Stand tall as you inhale everything up. Exhale as you fold over to your right. Fold to your right, forming this crescent moon type of structure. Breathing here. And inhale back to center. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Take an exhale. Inhale back up. And exhale over to your left. Breathing here, keeping that breath moving. And inhale back to center. Bring the palms down, slowly bringing them down to the side. And then bring the legs out wide, coming into goddess pose. The feet are pointed out, the heels are more in. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale down into goddess. And feel free to put your hands into Gyan Mudra, which is the index finger and the thumbs touching. This is really channeling wisdom. All right, so maybe we can channel wisdom into how to be a leader of our lives. So inhale even deeper here and exhale. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink down. We'll do one more of these. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, sink down. Beautiful. And inhale as we come up. Exhaling as we bring the arms down. This time, you're going to point the left toes towards the left side of the mat. Bring those right toes to the long edge that you were originally facing. So you're in this triangle setup because we're going to do triangle next. So left toes facing the left, right toes facing the right, arms out to the side. Kick your left hip into your right as if somebody's trying to hand you something to your left hand. And you're reaching, 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 trying to keep the stance where you are. When you can't reach anymore, left arm comes down, right arm comes up to the sky, coming into triangle. Feel free to bend the knees. Feel free to even place the left hand on something, a block, a pillow, a blanket, whatever feels good for you. The gaze can be up or down, depending on comfort in the neck. Breathing here, standing strong, rooting down in those feet. And on the next breath, very, very, very gently rise back up into your triangle. So now completely shift your body towards the left side of your mat, which for me is actually the front of my mat, the front short edge of my mat. Both feet are going to be facing the left. Stagger your feet about mat's width apart and as long away from each other as feels good for you. As we prepare for pyramid pose, Parsvattanasana. Options here, you can grab opposite elbows. If you're open, you can do hidden prayer. Or for some of you, you may just want to place your hands on your hips. Whatever feels good for you. Find a place for your hands. Inhale as you back bend, exposing the heart to the sky. Exhale as you forward fold over that left leg. Crown of the head reaching down towards the mat, coming into Parsvattanasana. Breathing here. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Letting the neck and head hang. It's okay to bend one or both knees. In fact, it's recommended to keep a micro bend in your knees so that you're not hyper flexing them. Keep that breath moving. And on the next breath, gently roll up, one vertebra at a time, releasing your hands. And now we're going to get ready to come down all the way onto our mat. A great time to bring something to place underneath your knees. As you bring that right knee down, but see if you can slide that right knee as back as feels good. Your left knee is over or beyond that left ankle. So for some of you, it may feel good to roll up your mat underneath your right knee or place a blanket or a pillow, something soft, wherever you are. Options here, you can have the arms up to frame the ears. You can also have the arms back behind you. Some of you may even feel open to interlace the hands behind you. Okay, so whatever feels good to you right now. Gaze up if that feels good, or gaze in front of you. Seeing if we can open the heart slightly to the sky. Really rooting down into that left foot. Breathing here. Keeping that breath moving, not holding the breath. And on the next breath, gently come back to center, releasing the hands. Place your hands on the inside of your left foot as you slowly rotate back to the long edge of your mat, coming into ninja. My right foot is flexed. I'm on the ball of my left foot. You may also want to come totally down onto your left foot if that feels good to you. Feel free to play around with balance. You can bring one hand in half prayer, or you can bring both hands in prayer. Wherever you are, find that balance, flexing that right foot up towards the sky. Breathing here. And on the next breath, use your hands to gently stay low as you switch sides. Now we're coming onto our right foot, flexing our left foot up towards the sky. Once again, you can play around with balance, half prayer or full prayer. Breathing here. Keep that breath moving, that crown of the head reaching towards the sky. And on the next breath, release the hands back down. And this time you're going to pivot to the right side of your mat, coming into Anjaneyasana, that crescent moon lunge again. So my right knee is past or above my right ankle. I'm on my left knee. Feel free to cushion that left knee in whatever way you need. Options here, once again, arms are framing the ears. You can have airplane arms behind you. You may even feel like interlacing the hands. Wherever you are, just see if you can gently open the heart to the sky to whatever capacity you have today. Maybe even gazing up if that feels good to you, or you can gaze in front of you. Whatever feels good, really rooting down into that right foot. Breathing here. And release the hands. Place the hands around that right foot. Gently come onto both feet, getting ready for pyramid pose. So I usually stand up all the way just to adjust. Once again, you want your feet to be about mat width apart. And you want there to be some sort of distance between your feet. That's going to be dependent on your comfort level. Both of my feet are facing the right edge of my mat. Once again, find a place for your hands, whether it's opposite elbows, on your hips, or hidden prayer behind you. Wherever you are, inhale the heart open to the sky. And exhale as you fold all the way forward over that right leg. Relaxing the head and the neck down. Bending one or both knees as you need. Keeping a slight micro bend in them, either way. Seeing if you can let the head and neck relax. Keep that breath moving and flowing. And very gently rise up, slowly, 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 one vertebra at a time. Release the hands. This time, bring your feet about in line with one another. Keep your right toes facing the right. This time, turn your left toes towards the front edge of the mat. So we're getting ready for triangle once again. Right toes facing the right, left toes facing the front. Arms out to the side. This time, you're taking your right hip into your left, as if somebody is handing you something to your right hand and you're just out of reach, but your feet are frozen. You can't move. Reaching, reaching, reaching. When you can't reach anymore, place that right arm down towards the mat, left arm up towards the sky, coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Option to bend one or both knees. You can also use something to place your right hand on. Gaze can be up or down on the mat, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we're opening up our heart to the sky. Breathing here. And gently, gently, gently rising back up. This time, bring both feet in, but your feet are going to be pointed out. You're facing that long edge again, getting ready for goddess. Heels are in, feet are out. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale down. Maybe even Gyan Mudra if you want, index finger and thumbs. Inhale, straighten. Exhale down. One more of these. Inhale, straighten. And exhale down. Beautiful. And inhale, straighten. Exhale the arms down. Bring the feet back together in the middle of the mat. Inhale the arms up to the sky, interlacing all of your fingers except for your index finger. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale up. Exhale over to your right. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale as you lower the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale back up. Exhale over to your left. And inhale back to center. Exhale, paint a circle down with the arms. And perhaps even taking a moment to place the palms together at the heart, closing the eyes, just noticing what's coming up. Noticing the breath, which may be a little quicker than the beginning of class. Noticing what sensations are in the body. Maybe noticing what is coming up for us in our thoughts in this moment. We're not judging or labeling anything. We're simply just observing, becoming aware, watching our thoughts, watching our sensations. Beautiful. And open the eyes, release the arms down. So that was one half of our Chandra Namaskar. You can see I went a little bit slower explaining some options as we move through. So we're going to move through the second half a little bit quicker, and you can always modify as needed as we move through. Going the other side of the moon circle on our mat. All right, inhale the arms up to the sky, interlacing all fingers but the index. Inhale up, exhale over to your left. Inhale back to center, exhale, relax the shoulders down. Inhale back up, exhale over to your right. And inhale back up, exhale the arms down. Coming into Goddess, feet are wide apart, toes out, heels in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink. One last time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink. And inhale, straighten. Exhale the arms all the way down. Point those right toes towards the right, left toes towards the front of the mat. Arms out to the side. Reaching, reaching, reaching with our right hand, kicking our right hip into our left, preparing for triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. When you can't reach anymore, right arm comes down, left arm up, and modify as needed anywhere here. The gaze can come down, gaze can come up, placing your right hand on something, wherever you are, coming into your version of triangle. Wherever you are, see if you can gently move the heart to the sky, just rotating, even if it's a little bit. And inhale as we gently rise up. Rotate the body fully towards the right side of the mat. Both feet facing the right, about mats width apart, getting ready for pyramid. Placing your arms in a position that works for you. Getting ready for pyramid on the hips, hidden prayer, perhaps opposite elbows. Inhale the heart open to the sky. Exhale as we fold forward. Modifying as needed for you. See if you can relax the jaw, separating the teeth. And gently, gently, gently rolling up, one vertebra at a time, and relaxing the hands down. Bring yourself down to the mat, bringing your left knee down. Your right knee is bent over or beyond your right ankle, finding a positioning for your arms, one of those three that we talked about in the last cycle. And keeping that breath moving. If you are coming into a back bend, just make sure to keep that breath moving wherever you are, really rooting down into that right foot. Modifying as needed, cushioning for the left knee. Breathing here. Releasing out all this old energy, letting in the new energy. And inhale as we come back to center. Bring your hands on the inside of your Right foot, turn towards the long edge, coming into ninja. Left foot is flexed. We're on the ball or the full flat right foot. Playing around with balance here, wherever you are. Breathing here. Trying to sit tall, if you can. Crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Breathing here. And gently moving to the other side, staying as low as you can. This time we're on the ball of our, or the flat side of our left foot. Playing around with balance wherever you are. Right foot is flexed. Length is in the spine. And inhale as you release the legs. This time pivot to the left side of your mat as you bring that right knee down. Anjaneyasana, other side. Once again, all the options for what you want to do. Gaze can be in front of you or to the sky. Keep that heart open. Breathing here. Rooting down into that left foot. And gently release. As you bring the hands down, gently come up onto both feet, facing both toes towards the left edge of the mat. Mat's width apart. See if you can widen the feet to what's comfortable for you. Preparing for pyramid pose. Coming into whatever placement for your hands feels the most comfortable. Opposite elbows, hidden prayer on the hips. Inhale the heart open to the sky. Exhale as we forward fold. Letting the head and neck relax, modifying as needed in various ways, whether you're bending the knees, perhaps even releasing the arms down to the mat if that feels better for you. Just listening to your body. You know what's best for your body. In fact, your body knows what's best for you. I'll reverse that. And inhale as we slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time, releasing our arms down. This time, you're going to keep your left toes facing the left. Bring your right toes maybe even further away if that feels good to you to widen the stance. The right toes are facing the front edge of the mat. Your left toes facing the left. Arms to the side. Kicking your left hip into your right, reaching with your left hand as if someone's trying to hand you something. When you can't reach anymore, left arm comes down to the mat or a block or a prop. Right arm comes up to the sky. Modify as needed wherever your gaze is. And see wherever you are if you can just gently open the heart to the sky. Very gently. It's okay if your chest is facing the right side of you. It's totally okay. Just see if you can imagine the heart moving towards the sky. Breathing here, keep that breath moving, no holding in the breath. And gently rise back up, standing. This time you're going to face the long edge of your mat, coming into goddess pose. So your toes are out, your heels are in. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, sink down. Last time we're doing this. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink down. And one last time, inhale, straighten. And exhale, sink down. I'm so sorry for those who are on Zoom and YouTube Live. My computer just totally died. So hopefully you're still there. All right. So if you're on Instagram Live and YouTube, I'm so sorry, my computer died. It's like, woohoo, technology. You would think it's Mercury in retrograde. All right, so coming back to where we were. So we finished our goddess. If you're on Instagram Live and you've already finished the flow, feel free to just take a moment to come to child's pose. Let's finish our flow for YouTubers and Zoomers. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Interlace all of the fingers except for the index fingers. And exhale down. Take another deep inhale up. Exhale over to your left. And inhale back to center. Exhale everything down. Inhale back up. Exhale over to your right. And inhale back to center. Exhale, slowly paint a circle down with the palms. And either stand in mountain pose or palms together at the heart, just noticing what is coming up for you. Especially with these technological things, just noticing if the heart is a little bit quicker, if the mind is a little more frantic, and just coming back to the mat, coming back to the body, coming back to the breath, knowing that everything is okay. Everything's right on time. Everything is where it needs to be right now. Breathing into the lungs, the diaphragm. And gently releasing our hands down. Make your way down onto your mats. I would not recommend sitting quite on the edge of a block right now. However, it would be nice to sit on the edge of a blanket. I'm just going to briefly introduce you to breath of fire. It's a type of pranayama. Prana being our life force, and pranayama together meaning moving our life force to our breath work. So I like to sit on the edge of a blanket so that it's not too much of an elevation. Getting comfortable, grabbing a glass of water or anything else that you need right now, although I wouldn't really chug anything right now. Sips are okay. All right, so breath of fire, Kapalabhati. This is a type of pranayama. And you can tell what you're doing because you can hear it. So Kapalabhati, breath of fire, is a forced exhale and a passive inhale. So I'm just going to demonstrate for you what it sounds like. And it's okay if we don't get it today or if we don't even want to try it today. I just want to introduce you to this breath because it is basically one of the foundational breaths and practices in Kundalini yoga. And I'm definitely going to be teaching us a little bit in all of my classes, not just Lunar, but in my dynamic flow as well. So this is what it sounds like. Okay, so you inhale in. So I don't know if you could really hear that. Also, I was congested more than I knew. So Kapalabhati is a great way to cleanse the sinuses, let me tell you. Maybe it's actually really good for allergy season. But I don't know if you could see my abdomen, but it was very kind of forcefully going in and out, which is why moving the breath down, practicing that deep belly breathing is very helpful for pranayama. And if you heard the exhales, I had a forced exhale and my inhale was quick and passive and short. I was focusing more on the exhales, like and I'm also even just an amateur at this, so if you hear even more experienced Kundalini practitioners, their breath sounds like beautiful and rhythmic, all right? So I want us to just practice what this feels like, all right? So you see this, I'm not doing this, so I'm not doing this at all. My shoulders are staying as down as they are, and it's really just my abdomen right above my belly button that's protruding out and in. So out on the inhale, and then it's coming in And it's really good core work, actually. This is very good core work for our solar plexus, which is actually, ironically, our chakra for personal power, which is kind of one of the messages of Aries and the new moon in Aries. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to do 3 sets of 15 if you can. Okay, you stop whenever you can. If you get lightheaded, you can stop. You don't need to do any more than you are comfortable doing. Okay, so we're just going to try to do that for 3 rounds of 15, okay? So take a big inhale in through the nose. Big exhale out. Let's do one more normal breath. Big inhale in. Big exhale out. Take a big inhale in and prepare for that forced exhale. Big inhale. All right, and resume normal breathing. It's really hard to do that and count at the same time. I'll do my best. I may have been one short or one longer, but that's sort of what it feels. And that's about a rhythm that I go with. I want you to go slower than that if you need to go slower than that. All right, or faster if you're accustomed to this. All right, so take normal breath in. All right, take a big inhale in. Big exhale out. Preparing in, inhale in, and go. And resume normal breathing. See, it goes by quicker if we go a little bit at our own pace. One last time to try this, okay? Resume your normal breathing, and it's okay for your abdomen to be like, what is going on right now, right? It is a core workout. It is actually going to strengthen your core just to do this type of breath work. So normal breathing. Last round, big inhale in. Normal exhale out. Big inhale in, preparing for the forced exhale, and go. And resume. All right, we made it. So that is breath of fire. That is Kapalabhati, which is really, really, really awesome for kind of clearing out the body, getting rid of excess energy, also energizing the body if there's been any lethargy. A lot of us coming from winter into now we're in Aries season, which is that fiery go, go, go energy. So Kapalabhati is a great breath to try, and feel free to try it as long as it's comfortable. You don't need to do a certain amount to begin with, right? Just even do it slow and just place both hands on the navel as you do it, just to practice, right? All right, so coming down from that breath work, let's go into our journaling prompt. So grabbing a journal or using this as a time to meditate. And I'm going to be reading from another moon journal by Soulshine Astrology, which is an awesome astrology company. They have an awesome website and Instagram. All right, so getting anything that you need for your journaling as we journal on what this new moon in Aries is all about. Often thought of as the astrological new year, the new moon in Aries signifies the ultimate of new beginnings. This is a powerful time to assert yourself and take a stand for the things that are most important to you, whether that is a passion project, a way of being, or a vision you have for the world. Whatever you are beginning now will eventually blossom into fullness by the full moon in Aries on October 21st, 2021. So focus your attention on where you'd like your life and career to be by then, and don't be afraid to aim high. When you are enthusiastic about something, your excitement becomes contagious to others. So as long as you love what you are doing, you can't help but be successful. All right, first prompt for us to either journal on or think about. What exciting passion project are you ready to dive into now? And where would you like to see this adventure take you by the full moon in Aries on October 21st? So that's about 6 months from now. What exciting passion project are you ready to dive into? And if you don't have an idea, maybe this is a great time to meditate on what could be. a passion project that you want to grow and manifest in the next 6 months. So if you're journaling, feel free to journal. If you are meditating and visualizing this, close the eyes. And this time, start to let the mind wander. And if you can't think of any passion project right now, just think of what you're passionate about. Just start there. Aries is also the sign that is one of the many signs that is really full of passion, really full of drive. So what are you passionate about? And what of your passions can you turn into a passion project? And for some of us, maybe that actually is going to turn into a career or our life's doing. So it can go even further than passion projects. So take the next few moments to either write about this or to visualize this. And notice how the body, the breath, and the mind respond to thinking about what you're passionate about. How does it feel to think about your passion? Perhaps even noticing that and writing that down, or visualizing that, or just paying attention to what is coming up in the body. And if the mind wanders, perhaps just see where it's going. I'm not trying to control anything right now. We're simply seeing what is present, right? If it's hard to think of our passion, what is getting in the way? What is coming into our mind? And can we just be aware of what that is and then gently come back to thinking about us and our passions? Putting the attention on our inner worlds. Taking the next few minutes to finish writing if you're writing. And it's okay if you can't think of everything to write right now. You can always come back to this after class. And especially it may come to you even closer to the full moon this weekend. All right, and if you are visualizing, gently coming back into the room, coming back into the body. And I'll transition us into the next prompt. How can you be more authentic when it comes to asserting your needs, desires, and wishes so that you can take the reins as the leader of your own life? Wow, that is Aries in a nutshell of a prompt. I'll repeat that again. How can you be more authentic when it comes to asserting your needs, desires, and wishes so that you can take the reins as the leader of your own life? So write down, how can you better assert what you need and take charge of your own life? Not let others take charge of it, but you can take charge of your own life. How can you assert what you need, what you desire in an authentic way? So visualizing this, maybe imagining yourself being assertive. Imagine yourself taking charge. What is that leader version of you, which is you, right? So you, imagining yourself being a leader? What does that look like? How can you assert your needs as you lead your life? Maybe this involves envisioning yourself in a scene of some sort. So where are you? What are you wearing? How are you expressing yourself? Noticing what the body feels like. And for some of us that are not used to asserting our needs, we may actually not respond the way that we think we will to this question if we're not used to that. And that's okay. Just being mindful of what is coming up in the body, in the breath, in the mind. It's totally okay to respond however your body is naturally responding. Imagining yourself as a leader, imagining your ability to assert your needs, to say no when you need to say no, and to say yes to what you want to say yes to. Does it feel like to be in charge of your life? And when you're ready, when you feel like you've either written or you've started this visualization, feel free to continue if you need to, or you can make your way into Shavasana, coming onto your back, or doing any last movements that you need for your practice. So doing anything that your body calls for right now, and taking your time and making your way onto your back. On your back, you're releasing your hands away from the hips. The legs are about max width apart, just relaxing down. Taking big breaths in through the mouth and out through the mouth, releasing all that no longer serves us, releasing all that excess heat, all that excess junk that we may have accumulated in spring and the winter, shorter days, more darkness, and now inhaling in this new beginning in many ways. New season, new astrological season, longer days, more sunshine, inhaling all of that in that you love about spring. And slowly starting to deepen the breath. Any movement into the body. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, adding gentle movement, maybe even stretching the arms up overhead, stretching the legs out in front of you. And rolling on to either side, coming into a fetal position, taking a moment to collect the breath. And then when you're ready, coming back onto your mat in a comfortable seated position. Palms together at the heart. Eyes can be closed or soft gaze open. Giving gratitude to ourselves for showing up to our yoga practice this evening. Giving gratitude to our mind, our body, our breath, our planet, the sky, the stars, the moon, the sun. And giving gratitude to those in our lives that show up for us, whether that's our loved ones, our inner circle. And if we have room in the heart, expanding this out to our neighbors, our local community, perhaps the strangers that we just see while going on walks or hikes or making grocery runs, perhaps out to the whole country, the whole world, perhaps the whole universe. And bringing in this new moon in Aries. The new moon signifies planting seeds for a new beginning. We can start a new beginning at any time. Reminding ourselves of that leader that is within all of us with this new moon in Aries. It's always an honor to share this practice with each and every one of you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and your week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. If you want to know exactly when the new moon in Aries is, it is in Pacific, so I'm going to read Pacific time. It is actually Sunday evening at 7:30 Pacific. So we're starting to kind of emerge. So it's always nice to kind of prepare. But it is Sunday evening if you wanted to do or look up any sort of new moon ritual or do some sort of guided new moon meditation. All right, so if that's that, I will see you. And by the way, announcement, I am now teaching every Thursday. So I'm alternating Lunar Flow and a new class called Dynamic Flow, which is going to be dynamic. We're going to do various different types of practices. So every Thursday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Pacific, there will be a class that I will be teaching. So next week is dynamic, and then 2 weeks from today is the full moon in Scorpio. So I will hopefully see you at either of those. Have a wonderful rest of your day.